Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Yusuf Shakeel, and in this video we are going to learn how to destructure objects. So let's get started. Alright, let's say we have an object like the following. Const user, and the user has a username, let's say Yusuf, and is online, true. Score, let's say 5, and let's say some other values, let's say first name, last name, stuff like this. Now if let's say we want to access the username and the score, so one way to do the following is we can write something like const username is equal to user dot username, and to get the score we can write something like user dot score. So if we console log username and score, we get something like this, Yusuf and 5. Another way to print this values and the field of that value is to wrap this in curly brackets. So this way it will be printed like an object, so it would clearly indicate what the value is and for what field. So if we now run this one, we get something like this. Username is Yusuf, score is 5. So it's easy to debug as well as to know what value are we printing. Alright, let's try to achieve the same result using object destructuring. So let me go ahead and comment this out. This time what we have to do is we have to write const curly brackets name of the object user. In the previous video when we were destructuring arrays, we were writing something like this, const square bracket and then name of the variable, and in this case we are writing curly brackets. Now we want the username and we want the score. So what we have to do is we just have to write the name of the field, so username and score. When we write like this, we are destructuring the object user and we are just picking the field, in this case username and score. So if we run again, we get the same result. Alright, now let's say we want to give a new name to the field score that is inside this object user. So let's say we want to name score as points. To achieve that, we can write something like this, score colon points, and now we'll replace this one. So now what happens is we have the object user, we are destructuring the field username, so the value Yusuf will be assigned to username. We are destructuring score, so we will be taking the value of this score field, and we are renaming the score, or you can say we are assigning that value 5 to a new variable by the name points. So 5 will be assigned to points, and now if we run this one, we get username Yusuf points 5. Now let's say we want to assign rest of the fields is online, first name, last name, to a new variable. Let's call it rest. So in that case, what we can do is we can write something like this, rest, and we put triple dots. So now what happens is we are destructuring the object user. We are taking the username and assigning it to this username. we are taking the value of score and assigning it to points, and rest of the fields we are assigning it to this variable called rest. And now if we console log, let's say rest, we will get something like this. So username and points, username is Yusuf, points is 5, and rest is equal to rest of the fields of this user object. So we get is online, first name, last name, and it's an object. All right, let's increase the complexity of this destructuring a little. Let's say the first name and last name is inside the field name. So it's something like this. So if we run this one, we get the name as first name Yusuf, last name Shakeel, and it is inside rest. Now let's say we want to destructure username and we want to destructure the first name. So in order to do something like that, let me go ahead and comment this one. We would write something like const name of the object. We want to take the username, so we'll destructure username, and then we want the first name, which is inside the name property. So we would write name colon, and name is an object, so we'll write curly brackets, and we want the first name, so we'll write first name. And now if we console log username and first name and run it, we get the username and the first name. Alright guys, this brings us to the end of this video. I hope you will find my work interesting, and if you do, then please feel free to subscribe my channel, click that bell icon and like this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video, and like always, stay happy and keep smiling. Bye.